Welcome to Career Insights. The Career Insight series features local industry professionals engaged in conversation with students and recent graduates about career planning and job opportunities in Polk County, Florida.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us today for Career Insights. We have an exciting topic and an exciting panel to share with you today. We're going to be talking on power, electrical power specifically, and we have a wonderful panel here to go over this topic with us. My name is Naomi Boyer, and I'm the moderator for today's panel. I am with Education Design Lab and Gnome LLC, but today I am here with my Polk Career Academies Advisory Board hat on. I am the chair. And during the pandemic, we wanted to make sure we grew some resources internally for our academy students to learn about the different academies that we have. I'm going to ask our panel to introduce themselves.
My name is Trinice McGriff, and I am the HR specialist specifically for the School to Work program for the city of Lakeland. I am also over the power academies at the Lakeland Electric Power Academies at Rock High School and Travis Technical College.
I'm Katia Moya Fonseca. I am actually an engineer over here at Lakeland Electric in their energy delivery department. I was an intern for about 2 years, and so now I'm here.
I'm Jaslyn. I am a Power Academy student at Rock High School, and I am also a high school intern for Lakeland Electric for their engineering department.
So let me start off by saying how very excited I am that we have all women representing a somewhat male-dominated field, right? You heard Katia say she's an engineer at Lakeland Electric, and I think that's just wonderfully exciting that we're able to bring that perspective to this particular topic. But I'm really interested, Trinice, as to what does a typical day look like for you and for those that might be working at Lakeland Electric?
I'm actually with the city of Lakeland, and part of what I do, well, mostly what I do is I go out to schools and interact with students to introduce them to a career with Lakeland Electric. So Lakeland Electric has so many different types of jobs, different types of positions. So everybody's day is going to be a little different. Some of our people start as early as 5 and 6:30 in the morning and work as late as 7 to 10 o'clock at night. Then we also have 24-hour shifts as well. Those would be our people at our plants, people in system control. But in our engineering department, most of those people work it's a typical 8 to 5 job. They come in and they work, may have to go out some to different projects. I think it's a neat industry to get into because there are so many different types of careers. We need people in finance. We need people in engineering. We need people who are boots on the ground, who can get out there and troubleshoot things and get things done. We need linemen. We need Scada. We need IT. I mean, just about any industry that you could think of.
Let me ask a clarifying question there. You said you need linemen and you need Scada. What is Scada?
So Scada is a unit that we have along with our system control, and they do a lot of the systems integration with the engineering lines. They help with the security piece of it as well. And they're some of the people who do a lot of the troubleshooting when it comes to the IT portion of the line.
You also said something else that grabbed me, which was a 24-hour shift. What the heck does that look like?
Well, I probably should have said we're open 24 hours.
Okay.
Certain departments are open 24 hours, and those positions typically they worked probably 12-hour shifts.
So you graduated from high school, and then what, Katia? What happened next?
I actually ended up going to Polk State just to take care of the gen eds. So I went that route with Polk State, and I took a couple of classes that I knew I needed. And I actually, it's kind of funny how everything kind of worked out. I ended up graduating from Polk State with my AA, and then I transferred to UCF, and I was going to go for their electrical engineering program. I was there for about a year, and it just wasn't clicking with me, and I just I didn't like it that much. It was a big school. It's such a culture shock, right? So I heard about a program that was actually at Valencia College, and it's still in Orlando. And I was like, okay, maybe I could try this out. They have an electrical program, electrical and computer. And they have a bachelor's program. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try it out. So I ended up going that route, and I absolutely loved it. The classes were a lot smaller. I could actually get my one-on-one. I could talk to the students. I wasn't just another number. And so that was definitely amazing. And so I went ahead, did everything I had to do. I talked to trainees, and then I started with my internship with Lakeland Electric.
That is a really exciting story. And I think there's kind of a moral undertone here to this. And that is that just because you're not necessarily enjoying or feeling successful in a learning experience doesn't necessarily mean it's that content area, engineering, electrical engineering, that was the problem. It could be the learning environment, right?
And that's kind of what I tell everyone is, if it doesn't work for you, there are other options.
What got you into the Power Academy, and what do you see coming next as part of that process?
I grew up in Indiana, and I moved from Indiana to Florida my freshman year. Well, in Indiana, they had a similar program as Power Academy, vocational school. You could go into engineering. And moving from Florida, I thought that option for me was lost because I always wanted to go into engineering. I always thought it would be so cool to be a woman in the STEM field. So coming down here, I came to Tenor Rock orientation, and my principal was like, "We have a Power Academy. It's based on engineering." And light bulbs just went off. And my mom said, "You will be in that program." During orientation, I went straight to the Power Academy and I was enrolled in that day. And I fell in love with it. Power Academy, it's complicated. It's a complex curriculum, but it's so rewarding towards the end. I fell in love my freshman and sophomore year, especially sophomore year, because we were talking about different types of energy. I got into nuclear energy, which I found I really, really loved. It became really difficult my junior year, and I was so close to dropping out actually. But I was like, I came this far. It's such a great opportunity. There's so many opportunities that you could take with the Power Academy. And now my senior year at the beginning, I am interning for Lakeland Electric that could give me a lifelong career. So that it's just such a rewarding experience to go through all that hard work and get your certifications and then have a secure future for yourself.
Jaslyn, I think you have some questions also.
What was the biggest skill you gained over your years of experience?
I think my biggest skill is adaptability. You have to really be kind of flexible and just you're constantly changing. Every situation, every project is completely different. So you kind of go with the flow.
It's really interesting is that when I've done other of these career insight sessions and speaking with other industry members, when you ask people about the most important skill within a job role, it always comes down to what I call 21st century skills. Others might call soft skills. These are the durable skills that you need across job roles to be successful. And Katya, thank you. You named adaptability. I would tie that with resilience. When you're looking to hire, because you're sitting in a role that you're trying to get a strong talent pipeline for Lakeland Electric and the city of Lakeland, what are you looking for? What are the skills you most look for?
Of course, we're looking for, especially for our entry level positions, we are looking for people who are coachable, who are teachable, people who can come in with a great attitude and aren't afraid to jump in with both hands and learn. One of the great things about Lakeland Electric is they do a lot of on-the-job training. So if you have the gumption to want to come and be a part of a great team, and you're here on time, you come dressed appropriately in your PPE, and you're willing to put the work in, then we can work with you. Now, there are some positions that require special skills, of course, and those are typically not our entry-level positions. But if you're coming for a meter reader or a meter repairer or a lineman or one of our intern positions, which actually starting in the spring, I've just added about 7 additional positions.
So you mentioned PPE. What does that mean?
Personal protective equipment. So you have to be prepared to get on the job. So if they need you to come with work boots on, please don't come with tennis shoes.
I'd like to hear from all three of you. The internships that are available, how someone goes about getting those internships, the benefits of having an internship, and what those challenges might be.
So actually, effective October of 2021, we are rolling out some new different types of interns. And Jaslyn has been, we were fortunate enough to have Jaslyn as one of our first high school interns of the year. And we will be extending that for every semester after this one to continue our high school intern position. So we're going to have high school, college, and what are called utility worker positions that are coming out now. So our high school intern positions will be for students in high school. They're not going to have to be from a specific position or a specific school. We're actually going to open it up to all high school students, local, and they will be with Lakeland Electric as well as other places within the city. And to get those positions, a student would just have to apply for them. Online, lakelandgov.net, and apply. But what we want to do is contact those career centers, our career coaches at the high schools, as well as any after school programs that have teen programs there, and our guidance counselors as well, to get the word out that we're going to have some positions open for our high school students. College students, of course, we have our college intern positions. We've had those for a while, and we are extending that as well for Lakeland Electric as well as for the entire city. Those students just have to be in college, pursuing a degree. And the nice thing about these positions is that we make sure that our students are matched with a career that is in line with the major that they are going for. So they get some really valuable experiential learning right here at Lakeland Electric and with the city. And then we have our utility worker program. That program will be for adults who are in post-secondary programs that maybe they're getting certifications or something like that. We wanted to extend the opportunity for experiential learning to young adults who may not be going to your regular traditional post-secondary education, but are doing something. They're doing something, they're trying to get certifications, and we know that we're really trying to push these high value, these high wage jobs that require certification.
Are these paid internships, unpaid internships?
So all of our internships are paid. Our high school interns are paid $10 an hour. Our college interns can range from $12 to $16 an hour. And our utility worker positions are sitting right now at $13 an hour. And they can work up to from 20 to 29 hours a week.
So Jaslyn, tell me a little bit about your internship experience, the value of it.
Honestly, most internships for high school Power Academy students don't start until after high school, after you've completed job shadowing. I was very fortunate enough to be asked to be a high school intern. I was contacted by Trinice and Suzanne, and they sent me an email that said, we have internships open. If you're willing to apply, that would be awesome. And I said, absolutely. So I applied online, like Trinice mentioned. A few days later, actually, I got called in for a panel interview and I landed the job. There are so many great values to this internship. I've only been in this internship position for going on 2 months now, and it's honestly so amazing. Just the opportunities and the exposure that I'm receiving is awesome. And like Trini said, being an intern, Lakeland Electric is so flexible. You're right. I am juggling a lot with being a Power Academy student, a full-time student, and working here as an intern. I value my academics highly. I had the opportunity to do OJT. I think I'm saying that right, which is where you take time off from school and work during school hours and then, balance that out. But I valued academics so highly that I wanted to stay in school. So instead of working 20 hours like they usually require, they're allowing me to work 15 hours a week. I come in after schooling and I'm only here 3 hours a day. So they value your academics just as much as the person, the intern, does. Another great value is I'm just exposed to so many great people in the workforce. I'm exposed to electrical engineers, civil engineers, all of the above.
It sounds like you have a lot on your plate, and yet good for you for taking advantage of the opportunities as they come to you. Because anyone who's out there listening, if you have something that presents itself and you don't take advantage of that, you're really not doing yourself a service in this process, because it's
Absolutely.
people that you know, the network that you form, every risk you take by taking on something like this really further expands your own capacity and opens you up for options as they may come forward. You mentioned OJT, that's on the job training. How do we keep our youth here in Polk County? How do we make sure that as you all go off to finish your schooling and have these experiences, which are so important, right? How do we attract you guys to come? Because we've got, right now, you both are sitting here in Polk County. We want to make sure you stay here.
I think it's just about the work environment. I think it's so important. I like working here because it feels like a family. So that's what keeps me here in Polk County, is just the familiarity, just it's a smaller, and it's a smaller company, but it also provides that opportunity where you can go and ask someone and they have answers, and you're not as scared to step out of your comfort zone and say, hey, I don't really understand this. Can you explain it to me? Or, hey, I'm interested in this. Can you take me along with you next time you go?
What certifications did you actually earn when you were in high school?
When I was in Power Academy, I think we got 2 certifications for NCCER, if I'm saying that correctly. I think it's like a national construction certification. And so we did, if I'm not mistaken, we did like a level 1 and a level 2. And then most of them were like safety protocols, and kind of involved everything from like nails and a hammer to electrical outlets and just a bunch of different things.
So Jaslyn, I know you're currently enrolled. Are you going to be graduating with some industry certifications?
Absolutely. I already hold industry certifications. We take module tests every year, and you earn about 2 certifications per year. So I have some on my belt already.
What is your guidance for folks that are graduating this year?
One of the big things that we do all 4 years with the Academy, because our students start as freshmen, and by the time they're seniors, we've gone through 4 years of employability skills, job skills training. So luckily, they're during their senior year, during the spring semester, they are job shadowing. They are out, they are in the field, and they are putting those employability skills to use. The 3 years prior, we're talking about communication. We're talking about showing up on time. We're talking about resumes. We're talking, and creating these documents. And by the time they're seniors, they have a nice resume, they have a cover letter. We've gone through mock interviews all 3 years. So by the time our students are seniors and graduating, they know what a city interview looks like and feels like, and the fact that our interviews are panel interviews and the types of questions to look to answer. And I try to push what I call the 3 E's. At the end of the day, we want all of our students to either be employed, enrolled, or enlisted somewhere. So we want to make sure that we cover all of those grounds to make sure our students have some viable opportunities, whether it's with the industry or without.
So I love your 3 E's, because that aligns beautifully with Polk Vision's benchmark, which is around career and college readiness. Absolutely. Ladies, I have learned so much from you, and it is such an exciting opportunity to speak with you. On behalf of Polk Vision, the Talent Pipeline team, and Polk Career Academy's Advisory Board, I say thank you to all 3 of you, and to those of you who are listening to us today or watching us. And we'll look forward to our next segment of Career Insights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.